And welcome to episode 76 of
Nice.
the Rack podcast. We are the longest running weekly episodic podcast regarding Candlepin Bowling in the interwebs, on the interwebs, around the interwebs.
We
Whatever
can be
you
in
want
them.
to call
In
it.
there, everywhere.
We can be in them.
In there,
Charlotte's
everywhere.
Web, doesn't matter.
We have all four today. Woohoo!
Yay!
Go
Solid.
I got to
all
play
here.
tonight. Yay!
Yay!
I don't have to listen to Tim talk all week. Yay!
Oh, here comes the
Okay.
mute.
Oh, here
comes
comes the mute
brigade.
thunder. Yeah, he muted him. Yep.
I am one of your hosts. My name is Tim. Tim, how you doing? Dude, I'm great. Shitty ass weather.
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
Marky, I'm doing good. How about this weather, huh?
I'm telling you, it's kind of crappy, but we had a nice week all last week, so a little rain
Yeah.
doesn't hurt too much.
Is Calvin taking his ball and going home?
I think so.
Okay. Well, let's
It's
introduce
all-
Calvin. He is
He's
the
gonna
king
come
of
back with-
he is the king of the North, and
The
the
throne's
king has
empty right now.
the king has abdicated his throne. I think he's pooping.
$5
he
bucks,
could
he
be.
comes back with no pants on.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's definitely got no pants on. Julie's rubbing his nipples right now for him, going, "You can do this, honey. You can do this."
Oh, God.
You can do it.
He's looking cross-eyed. You can do
Why
it.
do I do this every day with you guys?
Oh,
You can do it all night long.
oh.
Oh, there he is. What's up, buddy?
So he's still muted, but that's okay. Marky,
Yo, buddy.
how you doing, buddy?
Good to be here. Missed last week. Had a whole crew of people walk into the bowling alley about 5 minutes before we were supposed to get going. Big birthday party for a dude. So that was a good time. But I'm back here now. Nobody's here now, so it's time to play.
Here we go.
Tim, nobody.
Nobody cares.
That's
Can't
okay.
help that.
He's got an arrow pointing down. Is that pointing down to his crotch?
What's a
No,
smile?
that's a smiley face, bud.
No, it's so I couldn't quite see it because it was cut off on my
'Cause you're old.
screen. No, it's
You
cut off on
can't-
my screen.
Mute.
Brian and the fourth member tonight, the Coastal Crusader. Brian, how you doing,
I'm
buddy?
here. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know.
You're upstairs tonight.
I am upstairs tonight. Yeah. Kelly's working, so I'm upstairs. I'm playing Mr. Dad and Podcaster tonight. So
Nice. All right. Calvin, how are you? You can
Oh, he's
go
got
off
notes.
mute.
there you
He's
go.
got notes.
Unmute him, please. This
I
is
can't
very- very
unmute him.
No, he has to unmute
He has
himself.
to
Oh,
unmute
he's
and
himself.
he
not
knows it.
Good. You.
All right, so
Oh,
we're
my
not talking to Calvin tonight. He's just going to sit there, I guess.
He's got notes.
He's got notes. So, let's see. We don't have any results from any tournaments because there weren't any this week that I can think of. Well, there was.
Yeah, there's
but
one in Canada.
there was
but
one in
Calvin's
Canada.
gonna have to write them out, and we're
Yeah.
gonna read them.
So we're not doing that
probably.
because again,
Oh, wait,
there
he's
is.
writing something. Hold on.
I know he is. I know.
He's probably writing down
Oh.
how many wins the Maple Leafs have. It's a very short number, but it's still more than that.
So I do have the unofficial.
Oh, wait,
uh,
Corey won.
Corey
Good job,
won.
Corey won.
Good job, Corey.
Good job, Corey. All right, congratulations.
He won his own tournament.
Yeah, congratulations, Corey, on winning your own tournament. So we had the main state mixed doubles this weekend was held in Belfast at All Play Bowling Center.
Much different than when it first opened.
In the thriving metropolis of Belfast, Maine. And I have the unofficial, totally unofficial results. Only because it hasn't been confirmed by unanimous decree.
So asterisk. We do not. We at Ripping the Rack do only report these based off of the sole fact that they are preliminary scores and not yet finalized. There's
Correct.
a disclaimer.
Correct. So a preliminary congratulations to Doug Smith and Christy Hapworth for winning.
Officer. Yep.
Doug Smith went 13-12. So 13-12 for Doug. Christy went 11-63 for a combined score of 24-75 for their scratch.
Great
win.
bowling. That's good bowling for Doug. That's a notoriously hard house.
It is. There was
It's
some
different now, but
there was some good scores. Jeff LaPierre and Aaron Merrill, second place. Aaron 1154, Jeff 1299. Matt Huff, Vanessa Huff, third place. Matt was 1216.
Let him go. This is gorgeous.
Well, I know, but the worst part is 95% of the people listen to the show on like Spotify and Anchor and Breaker and all those stuff. They can't see the fact that Calvin's putting up notes.
But
with a Sharpie. No, they're not notes. They're Post-it notes.
They're Post-it notes with his Sharpie.
But for the hearing impaired and those watching the video on YouTube, even people who are watching with closed captioning are getting bonus closed captioning.
That's right.
That bonus content from international notes. I mean, we should take this seriously. This is an international.
We should.
Message.
I'll make listen. Okay. So third place, Matt Huff, Vanessa Huff, the husband-wife combo. Matt went 1216, Vanessa 1167. Chris Merrill and Cassidy Mcclendon. Chris went 1277. Cassidy was 1058, which leads me to a conversation we are going to have later about our younger bowlers. Cassidy
doing big things.
So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Rounding out the top five was Mark Smith, another husband-wife combo, Mark and Kim. Mark was 1209. Kim was 1112. Some other scores from this. They had, I don't know, a bunch of 1200s here for the men. Kai Hunt, 1227. Dennis Wadford, 1248. Bob Sedgwick, 1216. Dom Drake, 1231.
Wow, good bowling for Dom.
Lou Dyer, 1241. Mike Fernald Jr. out of Augusta, 109 average, goes 1225.
There you go. Wow. That's huge.
I mean,
go 150 over your average. Nice guy.
Yeah, no, look, Dennis Wadford's 107 state average, went 1248. Go Astros. Yep.
Astros.
I feel like I'm missing another 1200, a couple of 12. Mark Weber, 1226. Wayne Atherton, 1202. Yes, that we can agree on, Calvin. Freshie sucks. I feel like I'm missing one more 1200 here as I scroll down through, and it's a big fat no. I was not, because Cole Fry went 1193.
That's almost close enough.
Yeah,
that's
on
close.
The women's side, again, some really good scores. Christy 1163, Aaron 1154, Vanessa Huff 1167. Kim 1112. You got I'm trying not to laugh with Calvin doing this, and it's really, I'm trying to be serious.
It's challenging.
I'm trying to give people props, and he's always.
I'm super serial.
He's
trying to be super serial.
Man, bear, pig.
Yeah, no, some really good bowling. Amy Drinkwater out of All Play Belfast, 96 average, goes 1139.
That's fantastic. Some good numbers coming out of there.
There are for eight.
That's a house that was really hard.
It was
really hard.
It was. So again, some great bowling. Good scores. It's a tough house. I mean, it's tough to have
house record set because it's newer. So that I think Dougie's is the house record there now.
I don't think they've had a couple of 10 stringers that have.
They said they had a house record broke this year on Facebook this past weekend. I know Lou posted that. So
okay, well maybe that was.
I'll see if I can find it. You continue.
The tough part about the house is it's an 8-lane house. And to have a 10-string tournament in an 8-lane house is, I mean, obviously it's doable. It's just tough,
right?
Right. In my mind, because I'm old school, is your 10-string tournaments had to have a minimum of a 10-lane house.
I agree with you totally. That's why we don't run a lot of 10-stringers here at Riverwalk. I only got 8 lanes. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to run an 8-stringer for the meme of it. Or 10-string is rough.
Or best 5 out of 7.
Right, things like
You know,
that. Yeah.
But again,
He did say that
really-
there were lane records broken. So
Okay.
he didn't say which ones, but there were lane records set.
I'm not surprised. Again, there was some that for a notoriously tough house in the past. There's some really good bowling, solid. Congratulations, Doug and Christy. On the APH side, on the average plus handicap side, you got Evelyn Kitchen and Lou Dyer are the unofficial winners. So
Very good.
very good.
Numbers.
Very.
Big tournament.
Calvin, do you want to take yourself off mute and just talk a few minutes about the tournament that you weren't able to make it to?
I can do that.
Nice.
Oh.
So I by the way, Calvin, I did already introduce you, but you had abdicated the throne to go have Julie rub your nipples. So
Nice. It was
Yeah.
pleasant. It was
Yeah.
good. She rubbed them for a couple minutes. That's all I needed.
Oh, very good.
It's a good one, eh?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, just a couple minutes. That's all I need. So yeah, the tournament I was supposed to go to. Yeah, there's an interesting story with that. So Corey's tournament was this weekend, King of the Hill, his monthly King of the Hill. And I had convinced Adam and Josh to go down with me, and we were going to go bowl. So I was like, all right. So I asked the two of them, I said, who would like to drive? Adam said, oh, I'll drive. I don't care. That's good. So all is good. Picked us up, 8 o'clock in the morning. We go to McDonald's for breakfast. And if anybody's been to Moncton, you know where the McDonald's is, right up the highway or whatever. So
Yep.
we go to the McDonald's and we get on the highway. Adam proceeds to tell us, oh, guys, just an FYI, my battery light came on this morning.
And he offered to
that's
drive.
alternator. That's
Your battery came on this morning? He said, yeah, my battery light. But I mean, it's working, it's running, it hasn't shut off. I'm like, oh, okay. And he said, well, when we get to Fredericton, I got my booster cables in the back. So if we need a boost, well, we get a boost. I'm like, oh, okay. Was that the only problem? He says, yeah, that's all it's been. I said, okay. So we get on the road and I said, but it's either one of two things. It's either your battery is dead, so when we get there, it's probably not going to work and we won't be able to get back, or it's your alternator and we're really not even going to get there. So
Right.
we should probably turn the car around at the earliest convenience. Oh
Both are
no,
pretty
it's
bad.
yeah. He's like, it's all right. No, we'll get there. I'm like, okay, if you say so. So it had just rained the night before, and we were driving.
Power.
We were stop getting to the early part of the story, Brian. We were driving, and Adam was like, "Oh, I gotta clean my windshield," and he proceeds to turn the wipers on.
Nice.
Well,
Nice.
Adam, I think we should really turn the car around, because if your wipers are not working well, we're in big trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
So he goes, no, those have been doing that for a couple days now. Adam,
There's a
we should've-
reason.
Adam, we should have turned around 20 minutes ago when we were getting out of the driveway. We should have turned around and went back in the driveway.
Should just
I
had
said, this
McDonald's
car-
and gone home.
Yeah, I was like,
No
this
shit.
car is. That's what I did. This car isn't going anywhere. We got to turn around. So we proceed to get by about the Havelock, and we find finally something where we could turn around. And we turn around, and there's a hill to go up. Yeah, that car didn't make it up that hill. That car's
Oh,
car's
no.
still stuck on that hill.
It's still out there now.
Oh, probably. I don't
Oh,
know.
jeez.
I'm
Adam,
hoping
come on, dude. What are you doing?
I'm hoping he lit a torch to it, but yeah.
So you didn't make it, huh?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't happen to make it. Yeah, no.
That's
we,
definitely an alternator.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So we actually even funnier, if you guys have Adam on Facebook, he shared his mom's post about the fact that she's selling her car because she wants to buy something else.
That's why
Yeah.
was it you that put that about
No.
you should have had it this weekend?
Kevin Grattan did.
Kevin
'cause
Grattan did.
He was bowling in the tournament, and I said, and then you'll see my comment underneath. I said, yeah, we might have even got past Havelock with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Adam, good job, bud. Good job.
Good job. Good effort.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, Corey won that tournament.
Okay.
with a 924 for 7 strings, and he finished with a 204 for his last 2 strings.
Oh, geez, I thought you said 20. I thought you were talking 204 string.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
No. He finished with 204 his last 2 strings. So the first 5 strings, he was really, really good.
He was really good.
And then he stopped caring.
Yeah, and then he stopped trying. Yeah.
And then he got tired.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, congratulations, Corey.
Absolutely.
Yep. And so we've got a bunch of things to talk about. So briefly, we're going to talk some upcoming tournaments. We have coming up this coming weekend, we have at Leda Lanes, the Halloween Scramble. This is a random draw tournament, 80% handicap. It is Saturday, October 30th at 1 p.m. $65 each, $25 for the first 5 games, and $40 to the prize fund. Not bad. 5 rounds, 1 string each, bowled with randomly picked partner each round. Payouts for each round for top teams. Number of payouts determined by the number of signups. Partner picked on 5th round is partner for elimination-style doubles format.
That's cool.
It's really kind of a cool concept. So they're going to pay out.
Cool.
Can you be paired with the same person multiple times?
Random draw.
It's luck of the draw.
If they pull it out of the hat and it works, I mean,
that's cool.
It's random as hell.
Yeah. Call Leda Lanes, 603-889-4884 to sign up, or reach out to Lexi or Matt Susi on Facebook. Really cool tournament. I've never kind of heard of this idea, so it's really kind of neat.
We need new random stuff, new ideas, fresh ideas. We need new stuff like this. Everybody loves doubles tournament. One of the best tournaments we ever did was that random draw teams tournaments that we used to do on the Pro Series. You'd bowl random draw doubles, things like that. Everybody loves those tournaments. I hope that tournament does very, very well. It's a really cool idea.
They had I remember the Pro Series random draw doubles they did in Augusta.
Yep.
They maxed it out 100 and I don't know how many people, Brian. Do you remember 110?
I believe they had 3 to a lane, and they had 20 lanes, and they had 3 shifts.
Yeah,
so
it was cool, and they had.
I believe it was almost 122 bowlers or something like that.
So again, that's this Saturday. Reach out soon. Sign up. They are taking the highest average as of October 8th, and they must be able to verify it. So. Yeah. Reach out to them. We have the Thanksgiving doubles tournament coming up in about a month and a half or so.
Yep.
Actually, just about a month. That is at Lakeside Lanes. This is $80 per team. Shifts are Wednesday, November 24th, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. at midnight. 3 shifts, 24 teams per shift, and they are adding 2 more shifts.
Yes.
On Friday, November 26th.
Wow.
An 11 a.m. and a 2 p.m. shift.
This tournament almost always fills. That midnight shift is so much fun to bowl. People are exhausted who've been there all night. It is so much fun. It usually starts later than midnight, around 12:15, 12:30 or so. There's just so much going on in the house that night. But this tournament is one of the most fun tournaments to bowl all year long. You grab a buddy. It's 100% handicap. It's not that expensive to go up there and do 2 or 3 shifts. I'm bowling all 3 shifts that night. With 3, you can re-enter with different people, different shifts. It is so much fun to bowl. Grab somebody and go up and do this tournament. It's going to be a blast.
It's $40 a person, $80 per team.
Yep.
Team may consist of 2 men, 2 ladies, or mixed.
Doesn't matter.
You can have Marky and Brian bowl together, and then the next shift, Marky, you could bowl with me, and then the next shift, Calvin could come down from Canada and bowl with Brian. I mean, you could do it.
We've been doing it for years. We show up in a car with 4 people. And
Yep.
4 people make 3 doubles teams 3 different times. And it's a blast. So much fun. Timmy Lipke running such a good operation up at Lakeside up there. Go to this tournament. It's awesome.
It's five games. Again, handicap max average of 230. Max average. That is important. Entry deadline is Sunday, November 21st. So that is less than a month away. Will say this, credit cards are accepted as payment. There is a 3% fee added if paying by credit card. And folks, before you bitch about it, please understand that it costs them 2.5% to 3% to do that with credit card.
Per
Let
transaction.
me say it out loud. Let me say it out loud because we use Square here at Riverwalk, and it's the same thing. They take 3 cents on the dollar for every credit card swipe that you do, whether it's a $5 swipe or a $100 swipe. Just it's an extra $1 or $2 here and there. Please do not get mad at anybody behind the counter up there if they ask you if it's $43 instead of 40. Just do it.
Just do it. And understand
money on that.
Companies, a lot of companies that can afford to eat that cost, eat the cost. Bowling alleys, small business owners, they can't afford to continue to eat that cost.
Right.
Let's just
over
put
the
it
course
that
of a month. I mean, if you have a busy month over the course of, let's just say, a 30-day month period, it could be anywhere from $50 to $200 that you lose. That go, and don't get me wrong, these companies need to get their money too. That's how they get paid a little, right? But at the same time, small businesses here, you got a couple people running it, or you only, it's an established business like Lakeside, but it's not like a chain place. These bowling alleys aren't chains where you can rely on multiple places to bring in extra income. That income really starts to add up over the course of time.
Yeah. So I did want to mention that again. Do not complain to Timmy and the staff about that, please. They bust their ass. They work hard. They do a good job with this tournament. So that's coming up. Candlepins for Cancer will have their next TV roll-off. Alfie was sending out dates, and people were coming firing back, going, "Hey, that's this. Hey, that's this." So watch Candlepin Chat. Alfie will have, and I believe he's going to do multiple days. If I'm not mistaken, he's going to do multiple days, multiple shifts.
That last post he put up, I think he put up 2 separate days for roll-offs.
So watch for that. And then the next money match was announced December 4th, 7 p.m. Exeter Lanes. $2,500. Each person putting up 500, and Rob at Exeter is putting up an additional 500. It will be the challengers, Mark Carrier and Matt Huff, are taking on the champions, John Winchell and Brian Fuller Jr. Should be interesting.
These money matches. I love that they're bringing these old money matches back. It's a different concept. It's not like the one-on-one anymore, but the doubles match keeps a lot more people interested. It keeps a lot more people fresh. You throw 5 boxes, you can sit down and recoup for a few minutes. I love this new format. And who's better than Rob right now, throwing in extra money to get this kind of thing like this off? Go up there, watch the match, go order a pizza, get a couple beers, help support the
Order
place.
a pizza.
Hey, Brian, what'd you think of the pizza?
Food's so good there.
Amazing. So good.
So good. I recommend
the atmosphere, even in the Pro
good.
League,
The beers are good.
the Sunday once a month is like, it's just a different atmosphere. That alley is so great. It's a great place to bowl. It's comfortable. It's scenic. It's weird. It's tucked in a little neighborhood, but you feel at home in there.
It's old. It's wood. It's all retro-y. It's got that real old school feel.
It's got the offset ball returns, which
it's the old way they made them, man.
And look, I'm going to proactively thank Bob Lee for once again. Yesterday he was there all day, filming 2 matches. He'll be editing them. He'll be putting them up online. Spread Eagle Productions. He will be doing the money match again. He's kind of turning that into his thing, which is he does a great job with it.
Yeah,
he does
great. Yeah, absolutely.
He does a fantastic job with it.
I had a great conversation with him. We weren't able to talk long because it was the end of the day, and Brian and I had a little bit of a ride home.
It's only 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's not bad. He's all about it. Bob is all about it. He's doing. he's really trying to promote the game, and I just got to give him props because what he's doing is, laundry's done.
Laundry's done.
What he's doing is really trying to promote the game in a way that's inexpensive, so it's not costing him an arm and a leg to do, and it's got the ability to reach a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So
I really think, and this is something I haven't talked about with you guys, but I really think somebody needs to do a Friday night Pro League Twitch channel where we could do multiple feeds or do a featured Twitch thing. Because Twitch, Marky and I are on it every week for the wrestling show that we do. But I think that is a underutilized thing for Candlepin Bowling. I think if you could get the Friday Night Pro League on there, if we could do the Worlds and have different, like a couple different Twitch accounts that people could use, you could put matches right up there and people could just tune in and watch them. I mean, I think things like that, YouTube, what Bob's doing, what we do, what they're doing over in the approach at their podcast, what they're doing is we're saving the game.
Right.
We're trying to
bring it into this century.
Here's the thing, and this is what I've talked to people about. How many great scores from leagues and tournaments back in the 90s and early 2000s before cell phones had video cameras and all that? What's lost? So much is lost. We have the chance right now that nothing should be lost because you have your cell phone and you have Facebook and you have YouTube.
Yep.
I urge everyone that cares about the game, film everything you can because that's how we're going to save this game and keep it going.
Facts.
That's my soapbox.
Yep. And it's a good soapbox to be on.
Yeah.
So let's jump in before we've got a couple of topics.
Well, we'll do before that. I'll do a couple tournaments coming up for.
I'm sorry, Calvin.
Canada.
Yes,
all right.
please.
No big deal. I mean, it's really not a big deal because we're definitely not as, I guess, whether fortunate or as beneficial as you guys up there, where we don't have the freedom to do whatever we want whenever we want. We have restrictions here. Yes. So unfortunately, it's kind of hindered a few of our tournaments. One that is coming up next weekend, which had already been postponed because we didn't have enough teams and because of restrictions, was the New Glasgow Mixed. And we're now again down to 10 teams, and they're not going to run it with 10 teams. So we need to get 2 more teams, one at worst, because we want to have at least 11 to have a bye, and then we can at least have 11 matches. We were looking at 14 teams when it got rescheduled, so I don't know what happened, but if life is life or if restrictions have caused people to not want to get out, well, that's unfortunate. But
cost of fuel is big too.
Cost of fuel
down here is $3.50 a gallon, which I don't know. I don't know what that is. I saw it yesterday, but
it's probably for you guys up there. It'd be like paying almost $1.75 a liter, $1.75, almost $2 a liter.
It's getting bad.
That much?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think it's that much. I think that may be like $1.45.
What's gas a liter right now? What's gas a liter for you guys?
$1.48.
And that's equal to what is it, like 3 point something liters per gallon?
Like 3.5.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So if it's call it $1.50 for easy math. That's $4.50. They're over $5 a gallon.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So it's actually it's worse up there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, the cost of everything is ridiculous up here right now. So that's also a factor in everything that people just don't want to commit to spending the money, hotel, everything like that.
Hotels are crazy here now.
So it's kind of brutal, but we're down to 10. If you can find a way to get a carload and make a team, and it's just going to be a one day for sure because we can't get enough teams to make 2 days feasible. So it'll only be a one day, but we need a couple more teams, so get that signed up. And Corey announced yesterday after he won the next monthly King of the Hill is going to be on the 21st. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, sign up whenever he says, taking the sign-ups, and come down and bowl in Fredericton. It's only $40. 7 strings, $40 for 7 strings. You can't get that anywhere. So
No.
So come down and bowl, whether you're there to practice for your leagues or you're there to just have fun. And you never know, it's handicapped, so anybody can win. There's been a few guys who I never thought would win, and they won. So come down, bring your $40, and never know. So
Can we get over the damn border yet?
Can we go up there
yet? We can.
November 8th.
November 1st here. November 1st.
Oh, maybe it's November 1st.
November 1st,
the border, the U.S. border opens up
So
for
when's
all
the
international travelers that are fully vaccinated, and that can provide a negative COVID test within 72 hours of traveling.
It's a negative PCR test. Yes, you have to be vaccinated.
You have to have a negative
PCR test
Yes.
too. You can't use a at-home nasal swab. You have to go to a site and have a negative PCR test.
Yeah,
because that's only in Fredericton, and I've been known to get in a car and drive overnight to Fredericton. I've done that quite a few friggin' times.
Hey man, bring it on! Come on down. I don't care. Bring the 4 of you. I don't care. Bring 5 of you. I don't give a shit. Get in the car and come.
So cool, Calvin. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. We promised rankings. We have rankings.
We do.
Thy women are going to be represented with these rankings.
Dun dun dun.
Just like
just like
the men,
politics and government.
Yep.
4 dudes are going to rank women based on how they. We're going to mansplain everything to you.
I just might, buddy.
So
I just might.
I am going to say this, the same thing that I said with the men. These are not indicative of how good of a bowler someone is. This is just indicative of how good they've bowled since basically September 1st to now, based on what we've seen. Okay? If women want to get involved and give us their own power rankings and whatnot, have at it. Send it to us. Help us out.
Yeah, we'll base it on popular vote. You send us stats and send us your 10, and we'll base it all on popular vote. We don't care.
Absolutely. I like to do this because it's fun to talk about, and it's frankly, I find myself watching more bowling and more people bowl.
Absolutely.
And you almost find yourself like somebody like Tim, who isn't in the top 10, who thinks he should be in the top 10. Wanting to be in the top 10.
Wanting
to be in the top 10.
I do not believe I should be in anyone's freaking top 10 of current bowlers right now. I'm saying you think you should be in general. Regardless if you sucked or not, you believe that you should be in the top 10. Absolutely.
So then you want to be in that top 10. So you bowl better.
Tell me a person that doesn't want to be considered one of the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you do it?
Bowler,
honestly,
wants to get there.
Right.
Yeah. So we make these lists to make people bowl better.
Yes.
Get out there and go.
The last 2 boxes of the worlds and on Saturday afternoon and be in that final spot and it be dead nuts with 2 boxes to go. Why are you bowling?
Been there, done that. Didn't like it. No, I'm kidding. I loved it actually.
Yeah, you didn't like it at all.
You weren't.
No, I did.
Though. You had a 20-pin lead.
No. I was talking. Holbrook and I were talking, and Bobby Witt were talking this weekend about semifinals in 2002. Maria Subs versus Main Heat at Bangor, and it was dead nuts tied with 2 boxes to go. Period. Craig Holbrook.
What the hell is better than that?
Craig Holbrook on the right, and I'm on the left, and it was dead nuts tied. And Holbrook threw an 8-pin drop with wood. I threw a spread eagle. Yoo-hoo! Go spread eagle. He made his. I cut it over, did not make it, made the 10. And yes, I still remember this almost 20 years later.
How do you forget something like this? It'd be impossible to forget this.
So he throws a ball, and he throws this like powder puff, like he threw his purse at it. And it leaves like 22 pins on the plate, and just like he only had like he only got like 4 on the spare, but he had like, I think they brought in wood from like lane 19 and 20.
It was a
just,
lost deadwood.
Yes, there was a whole bunch of really a lot of deadwood, and so I sat back and was like, okay, I need it. Just give me a spare leave, because he's not making that. He's not, and I dead cherried the spread eagle again.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he makes his, and I cut mine over. No, I cut mine over and took everything but the 7 pin.
The corner stayed up.
Yeah, I cut it too much.
That
I took
never
out.
happens. It's always the front one, either the 2.
No,
or
I
the
took out the front 2. I took out the I took out the 3. The what's that? The 3 6 10. Cut the 3 over into the 2. Like clipped the back side of the 2, which took out the 4, and it fell in front of the 7.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Even then, you only need a 7 drop to lock you out.
No, I know, and I don't remember what he got on it, because unfortunately, I think I threw 42 bowling balls out the door, and
Hey, you didn't punch the wall.
and kicked 82 ball returns, and might have said a few bad words. But anyway, so power rankings. You're supposed to do that, gentlemen, just like we did for the men.
Oh, that was a thing. Oh,
Power.
I said I wasn't here. I didn't know that was a thing.
All right,
Rank.
read them off.
No, that was kind of anticlimactic.
Climactic.
Stop being a douche canoe and read them off.
Wow, that wasn't very nice. We had a couple of ties. So, in a tie for 10th, we have Kerrigan Skinner and Vanessa Huff, both from Maine, both bowling very well.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Sonia Rossi. Number 8 was Glennis McKinley. Number 7 is our lone Canadian entrant into the top 10. D-Nice Pinsent.
D-Nice.
Number 7. Number 6, Shannon Scribner. Number 5, Lori Lewis. We have a tie for 3. So this would be number 3 and number 4 in no particular order. We have Maddie Kelly and Aaron Merrill in a tie for 3rd. Number 2, Mario Johnson. And right now, the current number 1, Amanda Carroll. So, great job, ladies.
Yep.
I believe that everyone deserves to be where they, in that top 10. You can have it in any format. You can have others in there. If our Canadian ladies were doing more bowling, this would be a little bit bit different. Right. And I think we all know that. I personally would have, Jill and Tasha probably up in that mix as well.
Absolutely.
Based on their past experiences. But they're not, I don't even know if they're either one of them are bowling.
Also on the American side, Brooke's not bowling. So
Jill is bowling in St. John.
Okay.
Tasha's still in baby mode, so I doubt that Tasha is going to be bowling.
That's a beautiful baby, though. They have a beautiful baby.
He's so cute.
He really is, man.
That pumpkin photo.
That was the cutest thing on the face.
I want to see Corey in the pumpkin.
I know.
I do.
That's one big.
So
ass
do you want
pumpkin.
him in the maple leaf pumpkin, and I'll get in the American pumpkin?
Yeah.
That's one big ass pumpkin.
He is my Canadian brethren.
So before people ask on how this came up in these rankings in this order, the votes kind of go in each number you're in has a numerical number assigned to it for a point-based system. So a first place vote is worth 10 points, second place 9, and so forth.
There are 40 possible points for first place.
Yes. So, congratulations for the unofficial Ripping the Rack female power rankings.
For September.
For September/October.
Let the arguments begin. May the odds ever be in
May the odds be forever be in our favor.
May the odds ever be in your favor. We'll get 17 emails tomorrow, I'm sure.
No, we won't. There's 17 people that listen
again.
to
I struggled with my list because I could have done this a lot of different ways. There were people that didn't make the top 10 that I would have felt comfortable being in the top 10. Just like the men's list. There were people that were not in there that I felt could have been in
the top 10 before the men's team national invitational tournament.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll have to that episode will be breaking down. We'll have to do a special episode maybe, and we'll do it Saturday before we all leave. We'll do it that week, and we'll do a special Saturday episode, and we'll talk about the whole tournament.
Yeah, we'll get a whole predictions, and we'll call it just the international nationals.
I don't know podcast. When I would have time between now and then to do that, but I'm sure we can work something out.
Well, Tim, it doesn't necessarily you don't have to be involved. Marky, Calvin, and I can.
No shit. I have said this for how long, and I got yelled at for taking a vacation and saying we're not going to do this because you're the one that uploads everything, and I tried to teach you guys how to upload it.
That was our special 1 year show. We couldn't do it without you, sweet cheeks.
Oh my God, I hate you.
Yeah.
Grampy,
anyway,
don't be so dumb.
Get off my lawn mode, Grampy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of get off my lawn mode, I want to talk about our young bowlers, younger generation, and I'll tell you why. Is as I was bowling yesterday in the once a month, and Sunday I was just kind of watching other bowlers, and I happened to know it just dawned on me. Number one, I'm old. When I looked at everybody in there, I'm pretty sure Craig might be the only one older than me. Oh, Craig and Bobby, maybe. I don't know.
Normie.
Norm. Yeah, so there's a handful.
You guys aren't old yet. You're just you're in that season.
They're well seasoned.
Oh no, I'm definitely medium well. I am no longer. I'm almost flame broiled.
Well, he's a fucking steak now.
You're unchewable.
He's a baseball
I'm getting there. No, anyway, it was cool to look back and watch like Kerrigan Skinner. She's 18 years old. Throws a hell of a ball. Cassidy Mcclendon, another one from Stars and Strikes, who's 18 years old. Watched her. That's really the first time I've ever really watched her bowl. Throws a great ball. Again, young. She's got potential to do some great things with the game, just like Kerrigan. Maddie Kelly, another young bowler. I mean, we've talked about her. Everybody knows her, but the fact remains is she's young, early 20s. I don't think maybe mid-20s. She's not even mid-20s. She's early 20s. Who else bowls in that league, Brian? Matt Nichols. Austin Barnes, who bowled me yesterday. Yeah,
he threw a hell of a ball in the first match yesterday.
Yep. His double strike in the third string.
It won them total.
It won that. Yeah, we lost total by 4. He threw 2 piss missiles that were just fantastic.
Piss missile. I hate that so much. I hate piss missile.
Oh, I
hate piss missile. Oh my God, I
hate it when it's thrown against me. Josh Daly, 21 years old. Mike McGinty, he's early. What is he? 24, 25, mid 20s,
22, 23.
23.
Timmy Douglas came out of nowhere the last couple of years out of juniors Douglas, and coming in the adults making so much noise.
Even on in Maine, Chris Merrill's not even 30 yet, is he? Is he 30?
Yeah, he is. He's like 34, 35.
He's younger than me. He's way younger.
He's 34 or 35.
I'm 37. I guarantee.
Okay, he's 35.
Okay, well, don't count him then. But Cole Fry.
No, Cole's.
Tim, why are you gonna be an asshole, Tim? Calvin, you're right. Tim's an asshole, Calvin. You're right.
Oh my God.
So I'm the asshole.
So Tim, continue with the segment, Tim.
Wait. We need some love. We just need some more. We need some
love. That
doesn't
even show up on YouTube, so don't worry about it.
I am so confused right now how this is a segment of AITA.
Just continue the segment.
AITA. Am I the asshole?
Just continue
pointing out that Chris is 35 years old and he's not young anymore. Oh my God, that's like saying Jeff Surratt's young.
Unfortunately, Tim, you have railroaded this segment. So continue.
How did I railroad this segment?
You're off topic. I need you to get back on topic.
You're the one that brought it off topic.
Here we go. Now he's blaming me, guys. You see how this works?
Brian, wrong show. Wrong show. That's the wrestling show stuff. Wrong show, big guy.
Wrong show there, Bob. D-Nice. D-Nice is young, right? She's early 20s. Calvin?
Yeah, sure.
He's upset that you railroaded the show, Tim.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know. I just found it really cool.
I'm fucking done.
I found it really cool that in a pro league to have that many young bowlers that perform so well and that have a ton of potential amongst them all. And it's not just them. It's, you see it in the pro series. Marky, you're a proprietor. You see it.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed it just even in my own house leagues that there's the average age of the leagues have dropped. There's more young ones getting in. A lot of parents bringing their kids into the game, out of the junior leagues, and they want to keep going into stuff. And it's important to nurture that. It's so important, especially the good ones, the ones that have the gift. You can't just hold them back and keep them in certain no, it's important that they get out and keep competing against adults, against people that are better. That's how we all got better. We bowled in leagues with our dads, our moms, our uncles, aunts, whatever. And you got to a league where, maybe you were really good in juniors, but now you're against the adults and you're a very small fish in a much bigger pond than you were last year. How do you react? And there's been so many of them that have come out in the last few years that have reacted very well. One of the biggest names I can think of that took it the best and was the prototype for a lot of these kids coming out now is Johnny Boudreau a few years ago, coming out of the juniors and just destroying pins everywhere he went. And then you had that next crop that came up after him of the Mike McGinty's and now the Josh Daly's, Tim Douglas's, Matt Nichols, a lot of these guys. And then the young ladies is really where we've needed it. There's a lot of guys that are out there, but the ladies game really needs an infusion of talent soon. And it sounds like it is on the way with Kerrigan and all these other ladies that are in and making sure that they're competing.
Well, I know that there's like 4 or 5 at Stars and Strikes that I can think of right off the top of my head. And Brian,
yes.
you know as well as I do, between Kerrigan, Cassidy. Again, I'd never watched Cassidy bowl, so that was my first time being able to actually see her bowl. And I thought she threw a great ball. She didn't score. Her score didn't reflect what I thought was a really good ball. But just her composure was really cool to see. From an 18-year-old subbing, she was subbing with, basically her first, other than the mixed worlds, her first real foray out of the state of Maine with the adults. You've got Natasha Hussey, who's she's a high school senior. Yep. She's 17 years old. She's a high school senior. She stopped bowling the juniors, and she's bowling adults. You've got
this was noticeable just because you're speaking about Stars and Strikes a long time ago when the Candlepins for Kids show was around. And Melissa and I would take Dominic around to the roll-offs and then to the TV show. Stars and Strikes was always one of the most represented houses that was there, aside from the big 3 that are down here with Academy and Leo's Super Bowl and Woburn Bowlerdrome and the Masons out in Leominster, Mass. Those houses were always very well represented, but Maine would always travel so well with the kids from Stars and Strikes, and the majority of them were young ladies. And it's good to see that trend has continued and they've gone to the adult ranks and try to keep going. Look, nothing says that they're going to be 110 averages right out of the gate, kicking ass and taking names. It takes a couple years to figure that out, figure out who you are, getting it going amongst the other adults and making a name for yourself. We all did it when we were late teenagers, early 20s. It's good to see that next crop, especially of the young ladies coming out and doing it on their own too. That's so vital.
There was one more, Jenna Ward. Michelle Ward's daughter. Michelle, I think we all pretty much know Michelle. I mean, she bowls Can-Ams and everything else. Funny as hell. Known her a long time. Her daughter Jenna is 15?
16.
16, Brian?
She's 16.
Okay. Average, and I'm pretty sure she's 105, 100, 105?
105 to 108, somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah. You know, again, 16 years old, we need more women bowlers like that.
Fact.
We need it. That the game, if it's going to survive, it's got to survive with these young ladies and these young men that are coming up.
Absolutely.
They've got to take it to that. They got to take it to the next level.
I really hope that we're coming out of what I call this dead house era, where it's mostly all the same people coming to all the same tournaments, and it's kind of a direct result. We can go back 25 years ago when the Channel 5 show was taken off the air and a lot of the bowling shows were taken off the air. Stars and Strikes was taken off the air in the early 2000s. And then there was that gap where there was no bowling on TV. But the years before it came on YouTube and live streams and things like that, how we do so much of that now. And I think that's what's hitting a lot of it, is going back to what we were talking about earlier about being on Twitch and on live streams and things, that this younger generation is getting a chance to watch it, and it's bringing them out, because now it is back in the public face. All you have to do is find it. It's not as easy as being on television anymore, and you change the channel and it's right there, but it is available. And I think a lot of the younger ones are finding it and seeing that there is more than just after the junior leagues just being done, saying, yeah, I did my time, it was fun. Now they realize that there's more to do. There are adult leagues, there are pro leagues, there are pro tournaments and things where if you take it seriously enough, that they can make it. And I think that's all they've needed, is a role model to watch on a TV or on a screen. And they look at a young girl looks at an older woman that's been bowling for a while and says, I want to do that. Because that's what we did when we were growing up. We watched the guys on TV, or your grandpa brought you to the league or whatever, and you saw somebody older and better than you, and you looked at it and you were like, I want to do that. Mm-hmm. Now they have somewhere to go to watch it. So hopefully that era of not being able to see anything on television, but now coupled with it's coming up on the internet, is balancing off this last 10, 15 years where there really wasn't a lot of growth. Yeah. It was actually a lot of decline. Yeah. Hopefully we're coming out of that and we can start growing it again.
Yeah. Calvin, I don't know from the youth perspective up in Canada.
Right now we're uber screwed with COVID, but
okay.
Most of our, and I mean it's rough. We have a couple, like there's 2 or 3. I mean, mostly in Nova Scotia. You got Ryan Hogan and Ryan Cox and a couple other those. And I mean, Cody's not young anymore, but he's still in his 20s. So Cody Burke there, but. Yeah. Other than that, we got nobody coming up that's young. Nobody really wants to stay with it. It mostly, is either you go somewhere else or you lose interest in it now with the gaming stuff like that. Like most kids after 12, 13, they just don't have any interest in it anymore. So we're not like you guys where we're getting a whole bunch of people coming up, but you never know.
That always used to be one of the coolest things when you go to a Canadian house, you'd see all the AYB banners just hanging up.
Absolutely. Loved seeing those.
Because we never saw that here. You didn't have banners or anything. Yeah. I didn't even get to bowl in junior league because Oakland Park wasn't sanctioned. So I would just go bowl with Dad while he bowled. And then when I turned 14, he's like, hey, you're bowling the men's league. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, right? It was the cool thing, right? And that was
you got your ass handed to you for a year and a half until you
learned how to deal with it.
Bowl.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My first 2 leagues in, I was dead last both my leagues. And I was like 114 average, like at best, which is what I was going with when I was coming out 16, 17 years old. And then after that, fighting Corey for high average every year.
You want to get better because you don't want to be dead last anymore.
Well, it helps. You find a rival, and then the two of you guys have a good time when you're bowling, but then you're trying to kick each other's ass, while you're actually up on the lanes, but you're still buds afterwards. But you find that rival that you come up with, and it really, really helps to do that.
Yeah.
When I was younger, we had a really good junior program at Oxford Hills, now Stars and Strikes, which you can kind of see the similarity between what Rusty has done there. And of course, his father, Russ, who bought the alley when I was 16 or 17. For me, I wasn't bowling adult leagues, but I was going with my mother to the Pro Tour. Like I'd go to her Pro Tour events to watch, and I'd bring my bowling balls, and they'd be like, "Hey, we need a pacer," and I'd be like, "Sweet," and I'd
Right.
bowl 10 strings with the pros.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd suck, but I was bowling 10 strings, and I got to watch, and I got to be right there.
You pick up pointers, though, because some guys like, hey, you're pacing. Hey, walk straight. Hey, don't dip your shoulder. Hey, play this over here. Hey, do this.
Exactly.
Like, you just pick up stuff.
They see the young kid that just wants a shot to get out there, throw the balls against the adults, and they'll throw those little tidbits at you.
Yeah. That's one thing I can tell anybody. If you want to go, if you're not in the worlds, and like the traditional worlds when it comes back, if it ever does, I hope it does.
Oh, it better.
The best thing to do is Monday after the knockout, right before the captain's meeting, go in the bar, get a drink, and sit down and just listen. Because you're going to hear all the war stories. You're going to hear about shots. You're going to pick up a lot of stuff on how to play shots, and what to do in certain situations. At least I did. I can remember sitting in the bar in the hotel in Halifax and just listening to guys like Deck Klein and Baker.
It's like you were reading my mind. I was about to bring up that.
And you just listen and you're like, okay. And then you find yourself in these situations like, oh, play it over there. Like, I remember this.
I'd watch. Like when I first started the Worlds, I watched a lot. Watched a lot of people bowl. Yeah. Learn how to play, because I'm going into these houses where I've never been. And I'd watch them and be like, oh, wow, that really comes off the wall quick.
Yeah.
And you'd watch it again and be like, oh, wow, okay. So I can play shots outside here. Couldn't play it at home that way. I had to play inside at home. I had to cut it over.
The ball like him. Oh, that one for him there. Okay,
yeah,
I'll try
I mean, I wouldn't watch. If
you don't watch lefties,
I wouldn't watch. I
well,
mean, I'd watch just because I was like, I'd marvel at Peter Flynn and all those guys like that, Bob Kelly and Donnie Richmond, and again, I know these are lefties and righties.
Even Ross,
Gary
Ross
Carrington
the ball different than most people.
I threw the ball a lot like Russ because that's who I watched because he owned the bowling alley.
But he's another guy like you. It looks like your ball goes left to right, but it doesn't. You start in the middle of the alley and then it hooks back in. Because you start on the right, but you finish in the middle. So it looks like your ball is going left to right, but it's not. It's just a weird angle you take when you're bowling good.
Yes. I just know where I stand.
I watch a lot of bowling too.
No, I know. I'm just saying I don't necessarily notice where I finish. I know where I stand. And when I'm bowling good, I know how my ball's going to react. And until times like yesterday when I'm hitting the 2-pin 4 boxes in a row and I can't figure out why my ball keeps going left, which that would lead us down another path. But we're going to save that we're going to save that conversation, Marky. We talked before about the decks and things like that, but we're running up almost an hour.
Have an equipment show next week. We'll talk about pin decks. We'll talk about.
I won't be here next week though. I'll be just coming home from Denver, Colorado. We're going out there again later this week.
I'm not.
Okay, so let's save that conversation, equipment conversation, for another show.
Yes.
Because I would like to talk about pin decks and the different substances used to help increase scoring, at the same time how it affects the bowling ball and how it affects your hands and how it comes out of your hand, things like that. Because for me,
a little bit about that stuff, we could talk about that. That sounds good.
You got 3 guys here that aren't proprietors, and you got a proprietor that knows a little bit about it. So all 3 of us can speak to experience of how it feels coming out of the hand, but not the.
We're talking about bowling, right?
Yes, Brian. We're talking about bowling.
That's what she said.
Oh,
every once in a while.
So you can find us. We need your questions. We need lock letters. We haven't had lock letters for a while. Calvin's getting lonely.
I have a couple, but we keep talking about different topics and we never get to them. So we can. Well, we'll just keep going.
Hold them for. You know what? Hold the lock letters for next week, Calvin, and we will without Marky here. We'll have a lock letter mailbag show.
Yeah,
mailbag time.
We just got a letter. We
We just got a letter. We
got a letter.
Okay. So
it's
you
from.
can find us, send us your questions, your comments, your concerns to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter @rippingtherackpodcast. You can now find Brian on OnlyFans. It's there.
No.
It's
Yep.
back. Don't
It's
believe
back.
him. It's there.
Don't believe him.
It's
It's
there.
there. Look for the
It's under
jiggly white
Big Booty
man.
Brian.
That's him.
Big Booty Brian. I helped him set it up. It's there.
It's a
Big
Don't
Stay
even
Puft
Booty
Fresh Brand,
Brian.
dude.
Big,
Yes.
yeah, BBB, Big Booty Brian.
Big Booty Brian.
He is
Brian.
no
Big Booty
longer
Buddy.
he is no longer the Coastal Crusader. He
No,
is
I
now
am
the
the
Big
Coastal
Booty
Crusader.
Brian.
Big
Saving
Booty
your
Brian.
souls.
The big old Booty Brian.
Hey, you know what? You can hear Tim hijack segments like he did today and the closing of the show on Anchor, Breaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, and wherever else you ingest your podcast media.
Yeah, all right, folks.
Oh, beautiful.
Have a great week. And
Good job, Big Booty.
We'll see you. Hey, Big Booty Brian, we appreciate it. Mahkypinz, have a great one. King of the
Later,
North,
boys.
enjoy your week, buddy.
Big Booty B.